weight loss surgery patients, right? I've been out 9 years. 3.5 years.
9 months.
Nah.
4.5.
6 years.
Almost 2 years now, probably.
It'll be 2 years in August.
Okay, so most of us are veterans, except for one. And basically, she's a veteran because she's been hanging around me a lot. But this is the thing that we have to realize, and we have to, in 9 years, if I've learned anything, I've learned that we are all still in a growing process. I do a lot of analogies, and the best analogy would be that it's as a plant would grow, it's constantly growing, but it also dies. And I'm terrible with plants. I can't grow a cactus, but it is somehow that cactus somehow ends up living. It somehow survives, but without the sun and the proper soil and everything, it can die. And what I'm trying to say here is that we are constantly having to grow. And we're going to have regains, and we're going to have issues with our weight. It's always going to happen. But there's always that where we can thin down again. Our bodies are going to redistribute itself. You can see me this year, and next year you're going to see me. I'll probably be the same weight, but my body is going to redistribute. And a lot of us have this theory that we've got to get to go. We got to get to go. Right? Did you have a theory that you wanted to get to a number?
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning.
In the beginning, there was a number. And for me, the beginning was to have a good health and to just be able to live without all the pills and all the pain that I was going through. At 487 pounds, I didn't feel like I was living, only just surviving, just enough breath to get me through the day, to get me home, to go to bed. That's all. In between, there was no in between. Now there's a lot of in between, thank you, Jesus, right? So what I want you guys to help me with is focus on this, on life, and how you're living life now. Are you living it to reach a number and only the number, or are you really living life? Are you experiencing everything that you need to experience in your maintenance, in your whatever your range was to be? I've always wanted to be 130, but I'm 165. Does that make me a failure? Does that make me feel like I'm never going to get there? No, because every year I strive for it. I will never stop striving for it. Just like every year or every moment I breathe, because I have the will to breathe. I have the will to keep going with the weight loss tool that I have. Now I'm going to ask another question. How many of us have the gastric bypass? Gastric sleeve? Lap band? Okay. So, then I have this other thing that I hear, but my surgery is tougher than your surgery. And that is such a crock and such a myth that we need to stop saying that in our videos as well. Because believe me, gastric bypass is no easier than lap band, or lap band is no tougher than gastric bypass. It's how we use the tool. The doctors told you that you were going to lose a certain amount if you followed what? His advice. I don't ever remember him saying rules, but I do remember him saying that there was a way I was going to have to eat. Now, back in 2004, they gave us something like this, a pamphlet that you opened up in 3 papers, and that was all I got. Now you have a source of information. You have, YouTube. I didn't find YouTube till 4 years out, and I had to restart my weight loss. I literally started all over again in 2006. I had about 2007, I started watching it. In 2008, I started making videos. But that's the thing, that we need to continually always remember that there is always we're always growing, we're always evolving. So many of us, I've heard in so many videos that we stop. No, we don't. We're never going to stop. And if you see me gain weight, guess what? I can lose weight too. I just have to follow the advice my doctor gave me. You know, and it does. Has it gotten any easier?
No.
It does. It is easier.
If anything, I think it's harder because in the beginning, when you're losing and you're losing, you get this momentum and it's so exciting. And then when you're in your maintenance phase, it's like, well, nothing's changing on the scale. It's not as exciting, right? So you have to find other things to fill your life with to sort of get you into those good habits.
What are the things you're finding that you have to continually do?
For me, like being involved in something that I love that's also exercise is a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
So like when I'm diving, I could dive all day long and you burn a ton of calories and you don't even notice it because you're having so much fun. You know, for some people that's running, other people like Zumba, like you've got to find your niche.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it's music. I have to have music on because it keeps my focus of what I'm doing. I need to do it for my body, but I need to have the distraction of the music. So.
But at the beginning, who would have ever thunk it that we would be doing anything? Walking. Walking was a big one for me. You know, who would have ever thunk it? We do it now, and it becomes natural, right? It's natural.
I had a
We
pedometer
know.
on yesterday. I walked 3.5 miles, just going back and forth.
And you
throughout
probably had
the
some
hotel.
heels on, didn't you?
No, that was before the heels. Thank God. There's no way. But that, 7, 8 years ago, that would have been really tough. I would have been like soaking my feet after I got the first time.
Right.
But now if you don't even think about it, look down at the pedometer. Oh, okay, don't really need to go to the gym now. But it's a blessing.
Good for you. Good for you.
See, I did the video maybe 3 months out of surgery, still over 300 pounds, where I got on that treadmill and I walked for less than 3 minutes, and I had it in my head I could do 15 minutes on a treadmill, and I almost cried when I realized 3 minutes in I just couldn't do it. And then now I'm in week 3 of Couch to 5K, and I walk all over this city.
But do you
And
know?
I'm going, wow.
Do you realize what you burnt
Oh yeah.
in those 3 minutes? What you
Probably
burnt
a
in
lot.
those 3 minutes, I couldn't have burnt in those 3 minutes. See, the heavier you are, the more you burn. And because you're carrying, I have a brother-in-law right here. He carries a weight vest to go walking with. I can't, think about
Yeah, I
it.
tried that.
But think about it. What we carried before that, our poor ankles, my poor ankles. You know how short I am.
But we weren't walking either.
Right.
As little as possible.
I started with 10 minutes, but it was it was hard to do 10 minutes. It was very hard. But anyway, so the next part of this, I wanted to focus on what we're doing to read our labels now, and what do we really know about the label. So that's where Guns comes in. Alfred, I call him Guns. And I want him to talk about labels. I want him to talk about how important it is to read labels and what we're really looking at. What are we looking at when we're looking at labels, Alfred?
Labels, right?
Here's something.
Yeah. This is a good prop. I started exercising when I was in my 20s, like 26.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. He's 60.
I was 64.
Dang.
So I got interested in health because I was skinny, about 150 pounds, and I was strong, but I didn't have any size. So I saw an ad. I said, if you do this, your body lifts weights, and you start working out. Get buff. So I did it. And then the next thing I started doing was buying, searching for information. Reading magazines.
You're not going to be able to hear him.
And muscle mag, stuff like that, to get the information on the nutrition. That was the whole source. So from there, that changed my whole outlook about how I purchase everything that went inside my life. So everything that I bought, I read first. Then what I did was look for what I wanted and what I needed and what I didn't need. So it was easy to eliminate. I look at the calories. The calories consist of fat calories and calories that come from the car. They're going to be used two different ways. and then the fat, of course. So my main thing back then was just protein. I was looking for something that had a lot of protein. I wasn't looking for fat. I needed fat to get bigger in it. And that was
Okay, that's what I want you to talk about. When we're trying to lose weight, so this is what
you're
this
gonna do
is-
the reverse of what I did.
Okay, so this is what we really need to
I'm
learn.
trying to do the same thing you
Yeah,
are.
you're gonna.
I'm looking at this. This says 8 grams of fat.
That's too much.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
see
But
the calories?
Oh, I jump on that hardcore.
That's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at right now. See the calories? We all probably should get a bar out of our bags and look at the calories.
Oh, I don't have one.
Yeah,
And then
everything that
it's gonna say calories from fat as well. And this is what I learned from Alfred recently. So you're getting 70 calories out of 190.
Yeah, that's
Just
not
fat.
good.
No, it's not.
So that's what I'm
See,
saying.
but you know the way it's marketed is that it's okay for you because you know you can eat this. It's good nutrition bar, it's a quick energy protein bar. Yeah, but you gotta read the content. You're trying to lose something, right? So you don't want you eliminate what you don't want, right? So if you're trying to lose some fat, you don't want to increase that fat. So you want zero. Really, for a time, you know what I'm saying? You can do that because you're trying to get to a point.
Listen.
Okay, so anything that says, you know, if this calorie is 150 and it's got like 70 in fat, that's too much. You don't need it. It's actually self-destructive.
Take a couple of bites and then the rest of the way.
No, don't even do that.
We know most of us can't even eat that whole thing.
Yeah. But see, that's where you actually teach yourself when you don't follow it. I mean, it's up to you. It's your decision. You know, nobody can make you do this thing, but if you want to really, it'll work if you really do it.
The reason I brought Alfred today was because a lot of people have been, because I've been asking, well, what do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? Because, well, how do I keep losing weight? Because I'm only maintaining, or I keep I'm gaining. Well, there's something you're doing, but I'm eating protein bars, and I'm eating this, and I'm eating. I said, but are you eating the solid protein? Are you eating chicken and fish, like the doctor told you, and vegetables? So this is where this plays in for me. When he actually, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, what we're wanting to know, because it says 2 grams of carbs, but have you checked the fat? And I'm like, no.
Hadn't even thought about it, see?
Yeah.
This one says total fat and calories. Another one says total fat. It's different.
Well,
Fat calories and
right.
fat total.
What they do is take the fat calories, it's how much fat is actually in it. How many grams of fat? It's saturated, probably unsaturated. The saturated fat means it's mixed with something else. That's the bad stuff that gives you that high LDL and the low LDL. And the other calories come from the carb and protein. And remember, calorie, you can't actually eat a calorie. You know why? Because calories energy. So you can't eat the energy. You eat the food and you produce the calories. That's how that works.
That's why we exercise to
they'll
reduce.
say, well, this bar has 100 calories. That's potential energy. Because if you eat it, it's got to be digested. Your system is going to take that energy to even break it down into the enzymes so that you can use it. So even if you never exercise in life, you got to produce it because you got to stay alive.
It's like a battery.
Exactly. So it's
So if you keep collecting batteries but never press play,
even though you're not
just going to have a
whole bunch of batteries. And then it's going to store, it's got to store. So, you know, the glycogen from the carbohydrates and the protein gets changed in the enzyme. Carbohydrates, sugar, it's about 5, right? So that becomes glucose, and then it gets turned into glycogen, it gets stored in the liver and in the muscle. Okay? There is no carbohydrate safe. So you can't really get, there's no store for it. Only place is stored in your liver and in your muscles. Okay? But there is a fat cell. We know that. And fat cells.
Now carbs turn into sugar, which turns into fat. That it does do. So we do.
But it's not all of it. It's just a little portion of it. The far as actually what's going to give you the energy. So like if you say you're going to fast, right? So when you're fasting, you know, you use up the excess. Okay? If you fast, you have like maybe 24 or 30 some hours of energy in your liver if you don't eat right. That's why when you go on fast, like people get ready for a lot of things, they tell you need to lose some size with the liver. Well, it's energy in the liver, it's like it's not fat, it's not fat in the liver. It's like it's okay? So you get that energy. And then other energy is in the muscle. You can move around and burn that up too before you even get to the top. But that's going to be the last stage, not the first stage. Because you already have, it's going to use energy to what's available first. And glycogen is available first. Okay? So, if you say, well, I don't need to, I don't need exercise a lot, just a little bit because I'm trying to get this. Well, you got to think about this. How do you want to feel for you? Because it's all about you. It's not about somebody else. It's not whether you get to a certain point to be accepted. And I think we live that life to be accepted, right? We want to, because it's just natural. You want to look good. You want people to look at things and say, hey, okay, we're good. But you got to accept yourself first, right? Once you do that, you're going to feel good life. And that's what it's all about. How you want to live. And it goes back to what you put in your body. That's it.
Well, how many of us really stop and look at what protein we're putting in our bodies, like for this morning, basically, okay? So this is what we're continually going to be doing. This was just a little, just an awareness. I wanted him to make you aware of how much that things that are processed are bringing into your, because if you're asking, why am I not losing, or why am I still maintaining at this level? Well, another thing is, if you feel good at where you're at, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, you say that, and that's kind of my issue is I've lost, and I wanted to lose like 30 more pounds, and I'm quite comfortable where I am, and the other part of it is like I look at it from the health issue because that's mainly why I had the surgery. I was diabetic, I had apnea, I had high blood pressure, and so after I had my surgery, those things went away, and I'm not on all those medications. And I'm quite comfortable in my own skin. And I would like to be uncomfortable to maybe keep me motivated to do more. But,
What were you saying?
Well, I said, but you look great.
Oh, thank you.
And just knowing that you did have gotten rid of a lot of these problems. That is.
Health was my main
yeah, that was my thing too. Because I thought I was going to die early, and I'll be 60, and I'm not getting any younger, so we have to, I have grandchildren, and I want to live to see my grandchildren grow up. So that was kind of my motivation.
Yeah, that's amazing. But the thing is to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And to say, this is my life. I'm not living your life. And I think that when we motivate each other on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, that's what we're doing. We're motivating each other, but we're all living our own lives, all living our own journey, in our own road. And, what works for you, you've heard it 1,000 times, works for you, doesn't work for me, or whatever. But it's always good to collaborate and find out what is working for you, because you look amazing. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
How do you keep your skin so gorgeous?
Oil of Olay all my life.
But it's also because you're healthy and
Lots of water.
fit. Yeah.
Not at this meet and greet. I haven't drank enough.
No, me either. I have a real problem drinking water. It's really hard for me. And I don't know why, but I'll drink anything before I drink.
Well, that's why I have to put lemon in it or lime in it or
And then
Neo
all
or
I
something.
ever drink is water. Me too. I'm water
That's
queen.
all I drink.
I can drink water all day long.
Now, were you like that before the surgery?
Yeah, I've always been a water drinker.
Oh, okay. You too?
I get books and restaurants because my kids will order water and they're like, Like you know, they look at you like, did you tell them not to order a drink or a milk or whatever? I'm like, that's what they want. That's what they're given at home. That's what they would crave.
Right.
For me, I've always been the water drinker. When my surgeon said, you know, you're gonna have to give up coffee, tea, soda, juices, I looked at him and I said, he's like, you're okay with that? I said, I don't drink any of it anyway. I've just always been. My problem was never liquid cow. I like the solid ones.
All right, so we're gonna sum it up with the label part.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about this when Rose told me, asked me if I was sensitive about labels. And I thought about printing up a label, you know, to hand out, but that's not what we can figure this out. We can look on there, the things that we don't need. Things that you don't want to put in your body. It's in the thing we do, you know, it's in the makeup and stuff. So if you look at that and you say, well, this has too much
Too much what?
too much fat.
Oh, yeah.
If it has too much fat, leave it alone. I mean, that's how simple it's got to be. It's got to be, I don't want, you know, can I get a third of it? Can I just touch it? No. that's the whole key. You know, since I don't have problem with food, because I eat because of this, I don't think about too much. Water. I drink very little water. You know why? Because the body is, 6 or 7% water in you. You got a lot of water in you. And you keep putting that water in there, it's going to affect your weight. It's not going to help anything else because you already 7% water. You know how, I figured this out by looking at people in other parts of the world. They don't have a lot of water to drink, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they make it on very little, but you know, in this country we have more than this. Somebody said you need this much. Like the calories. It's recommended, the RDA said, what? The FDA, 2,500, 3,000 calories. Well, I did a little reading, and he said it actually increased that. That's too much. See, you it's too much. What they said it's better to have too much to try to keep you from keep disease and all this stuff down. Right? So guess what? When you're growing, you need that. You need more calories because you're developing. And once you mature, do you really need that many calories? That's as Vegas thing. You know what I mean? At my age, you think I do 3,000 calories a day? I'm not doing anything. I'm already grown. You know, I'm developing.
Doing an event or something.
I'm not now doing so I can use that. And that I can't use.
So you were talking about things to avoid, like these carbohydrates, is 21 grams.
Now, carbs, you can't store carbs in the cell. You're going to use it up. See, the body is going to take these protein, carbohydrates, and fat, and it's going to use them up. Okay?
I heard too, again, comparing the fiber with the carbs, is that something that
The fiber, you take the fiber off, and that's the ending net
You
carb.
know what? That's confusing.
That fiber you can eat from celery.
Yeah, all that's confusing. Well, you can eat green vegetables, stuff like that. That's fiber is just what's going to go in salad and nutrition value. So go into your intestines, it's going to make you to eliminate food. That's what fiber is supposed to do. But this other stuff is the carbohydrates. Remember, you got the low carb, you got your high, your simple, and then you got the high, right? So you can, if you're going to eat carbs, do it in the morning time after you wake up from the death. How to sleep different, right? Because your body repairs at nighttime, and when you wake up, it's ready to take on anything before noon. So if you whatever you want to eat, you eat it before.
That's why a lot of people eat the bars in the morning.
Afternoon, you start to taper off, especially on the carbs and stuff, because you don't need it. And then that last meal, about 5 hours before you go to bed, protein. You don't need any carbs.
Now we're not saying don't go buy these with carbs, but we're you can eat the carb in the morning. I mean would be the best part of the day to eat it.
But this is if you're trying to reach something. This is not for life. This is to get to a point. Because you always change. You get to a point, you have to readjust. You have to reevaluate this thing because you're not going to stay there. You know, there's no such thing as when you're done. I think you're gone. Because you're constantly changing. You're constantly changing. When you get young, you change. You get up to a point when you change, accident, disease, whatever. You constantly never remain the same, and you have to struggle with that. And you have to deal with it. You have to manage the change.
Yeah.
Something about product packaging. This is something that irks me so much. About product packaging, when you go in the grocery store, it's such a big thing now. These 100-calorie products, and they're really, really marketed to us, to all of us.
It is. That's right.
There is never in the history of a 100-calorie pack ever something healthy that goes into a 100-calorie pack. Ever.
It is marketed to people.
They might twist and they manipulate ingredients in order to sort of make that work. So if you look at something and you know it's not something that's really going to benefit,
that's why it's good.
even though it might have 3 grams of protein in it and 2 grams of fiber.
It's bad because it got some stuff that you don't need. If it says low fat, no sugar, well, you look at that, it has something else.
Something else, yeah.
And that's how they trick you. You know, this is 0 fat, this is 0 sugar. Yeah, but you need to read the label because my wife is doing the same thing. I'm like, what's the problem? I said, well, yeah, look at that. The calories might be 100, but yeah, look how many of those are fat. Sometimes 100 calories be 100 calories of fat.
And usually if they take sugar out, they'll put more fat in.
And a lot of times on stuff that tastes good.
Right.
See, that's what they want to get you
They want
on.
to make it to taste good.
You know, stuff that doesn't taste good is what's good for you.
I would like to say something to amend that, actually, because God gave us a beautiful planet that grows amazing food, and like real food is the best food that you can eat because our bodies have evolved to process that type of food well. We might have to eat it a little bit differently. We have to chew it more, like eat it without the skin, like an apple or something, eat it without the skin, because there are certain things that, depending on what kind of surgery you have, it can trigger, but like that is the best food on earth. It's not the stuff that we make, it's the stuff that the earth makes.
Exactly.
I'm so for that. You know, the closer you can get to.
Well, you're going to have a wonderful lunch today with Dr. Gar.
You know, and still hating, like, you know, look on the other. There's so many sources on the internet if you want to know how much like whole foods actually like have in them, fiber, calories, whatever. But the combination of foods, when you put them all together, is a real food combo. You will get more nutrition out of it than anything illegal might tell you you're getting it.
And you'll be
Those
fuller
are, like,
too. You feel fuller.
Processed items that are not necessarily in the lab. They look one way, but actually being processed in the human body is a little bit different.
If you have a problem, see, salt is good, but if you're having a problem, salt is like anything. If you have a problem with something, it's bad.
Yeah, like if you need to eliminate the salt, then that's the thing you need to be looking at.
The salt will make you retain water. You know what I mean? So what
Actually, no,
if you
I
drink
eat vegetables. I gotta say something about my father's salt advocate lunch and there's a lot, and there's a lot of misinformation about salt. There's a study that just came out saying that reducing your salt levels below the guidelines is not beneficial whatsoever. If your salt is actually too low, you can get hypertensive. The trick is balancing your salt with your
vegetables.
So like you want to be eating stuff that's got potassium in it, so like vegetables.
That's where your minerals come in.
It evens out. That's why like broccoli does not taste good on its own, but with the salt, that that's why our brain reacts to it, because both of those items, that's what our body uses to process cell processes. So that if you only have salt and you don't have any of the vegetables, that's when you get a problem. But if you're taking that potassium in, you can have a ton of salt.
That's
the two countries in the world that have the highest salt consumption have the lowest consumption rates. That's Italy and that's Japan.
Yeah.
Because they eat a lot of fresh produce. They have a much healthier diet than, just eating like meat and the potatoes, You need all the colorful salt.
Okay. So salt in moderation. Everything should be in moderation.
In moderation. That's what I was
Everything should be in
thinking.
moderation.
That's kind of how I
should be in moderation, Because, like I said, if you're trying to lose a pound, you go drink a gallon of water, guess what?
That's about 5 pounds per day.
Exactly. It ain't going nowhere. You get on the scale like, wow, man, where'd that come from?
Yeah, but moderation is a very hard word for some of us because some people say moderation is once a week or once a day, and some people go, no, I moderate to once a month. And I'm the moderator who starts out with the best of intentions. And pretty soon I'm doing something once a day and going, it's still in moderation. I'm not doing it every hour.
So you got.
And so
you got
now
your
some of us are still working on where exactly
What moderation is.
moderation is and what can work for us, where we're not cheating ourselves.
That's why it
later
comes
on.
into manage. You got to manage yourself. You know,
That's why it's a process. Like,
split
you don't just
one side wants to go. This is where you have to control yourself. Nobody can do it for you.
It's a process.
Yeah. It's
And
like-
you have to look at, you said you're cheating yourself, but in reality,
It's like not bringing it home.
are you benefiting yourself? See, that's the thing. I am cheating myself. I'm cheating myself from being a better, it's a lifestyle. I'm
Gone
cheating.
down that slippery slope since surgery.
Yeah.
I've been there so many times. It's gonna come.
You
I'll
know.
reach that point where my moderation turns ugly. I'm sure.
Well, it's
Yeah.
almost like garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
You know, if
Yeah.
you're gonna put the yucky stuff in, you're gonna get yucky stuff out.
Right.
So.
Right.
That's it. And once that, you got to manage yourself. You're in charge. You know, you can let yourself go. You can persuade yourself about anything. You can persuade yourself, hey, this is good for me. I'm just gonna load it up. This is working for me. So you got to talk to yourself. And you got to